Loving yourself when life makes you fall. Buddhist wisdom. When human beings fall, the greatest pain is not failure, but self-hatred. In this life, no one can live without ever making mistakes. No one can walk the entire human journey without stumbling, without ruining something at least once, without disappointing themselves. No matter how talented you are, how intelligent you may be, or how moral you try to live, there will be moments when you look back at yourself and quietly think, if only I hadn't done that. If only I had been different. If only I hadn't been so weak. But the most frightening thing does not lie in the mistake itself. The most frightening thing lies in how we respond to our mistakes. Many people, when they fail, do not blame circumstances or others. Instead, they turn against themselves. They speak to themselves with the harshest words. They sentence themselves with heavy labels. They begin to believe they are useless, inadequate, unworthy of love. When this self-hatred lasts for a long time, it can lead to depression, despair, and even the desire to end one's life. How paradoxical it is. We can say I love you to others hundreds of times. Yet rarely do we dare to look into the mirror and say, I love myself. According to Buddhist wisdom, this is the root of much of human suffering. Where does love begin? The Buddha and the lesson of loving oneself. In Buddhist teachings, love is not something that first flows outward. The Buddha did not teach people to love the world before understanding themselves. He taught that the first step of compassion is turning back toward oneself. Because if inside you there is emptiness, self-hatred, and unresolved wounds, then all the love you offer to others becomes borrowed love, love driven by the need for approval, by fear of abandonment. A person who does not know how to love themselves will love others through dependence. A person who does not accept themselves will demand perfection from others. A person who hates themselves will easily judge and harm the world. Therefore, loving oneself is not selfish. Loving oneself is the foundation of all genuine morality. Do not believe the labels you place upon yourself. Human beings have a very dangerous habit, defining themselves through labels. From the moment we are born, we are given a name. At first, the name is only a symbol, but over time it becomes who we are in the eyes of society. Similarly, as we grow up, we begin to label ourselves. I am someone who gets angry easily. I am a weak person. I am a failure. I am someone with no willpower. I am someone no one truly loves. At first, these sentences are only passing thoughts. But when repeated often enough, they become beliefs. And once we believe them, we live according to those labels. Buddhist wisdom points out, labels are not essence. All weaknesses, mistakes, and bad habits are merely temporary mental patterns. They arise, they exist, and they can disappear if we do not continue to feed them. When you say, I am an angry person, you turn anger into your identity. But the truth is, you have felt anger, that does not mean you are anger. When you understand this, freedom begins. Freedom to change. Freedom to evolve. Freedom from being imprisoned by the past. Mistakes do not define you, unless you allow them to. Mistakes are unavoidable in the journey of living. If someone has never made a mistake, perhaps they have never truly lived. Throughout human history, there has never been a great individual who achieved greatness without failure. Great people are not different from ordinary people because they never fail. They are different because they do not identify themselves with their failures. Buddhism emphasizes a profound truth. A mistake only has power when you give it the authority to define you. You may fall, but you are not a failure. You may hurt others, but you are not a bad person. You may lose your way, but you are not beyond redemption. When you learn to accept mistakes with awareness, they become teachers. When you hate your mistakes, they become chains. Believing in your ability to improve yourself is an act of deep compassion. It says, I may not be good yet, but I am learning to become better. Criticism, the silent thief of self-love. Many people believe they lose confidence because others criticize them. But according to Buddhist understanding, much self-hatred comes from our own habit of criticism. When you criticize others, a hidden message arises in your mind. I am better than them. I am more right than them. I am more perfect than them. Then, unconsciously, you set extremely high standards for yourself. Standards that ordinary human beings cannot meet. When you fail to live up to those standards, you turn against yourself. Thus, criticism becomes a double-edged knife. Buddhism does not oppose constructive feedback, but it advises us to stay away from criticism rooted in arrogance, anger, and judgment. A soul that is gentle with others gradually becomes gentle with itself. A person who knows how to stop judging regains inner peace. VI. The beauty of imperfection. Lessons from nature. Look at nature. No tree is perfectly symmetrical. No mountain is perfectly balanced. No flower is exactly the same as another. It is precisely this imperfection that creates the living beauty of the universe. Human beings are the same. We are not born to become perfect, but to grow. Happiness is not a state without flaws. Success is not perfection. Both are continuous journeys of learning and transformation. When you accept your imperfection, you stop resisting life. When you stop resisting, you begin to live. Each morning, if possible, gently remind yourself, even if I am not perfect today, I will not abandon myself. This is not indulgence. It is loyalty to one's own being. VII. Loneliness and solitude. Two perspectives, two paths. Human beings often fear loneliness. But what they truly fear is not being alone. It is failing to find value within themselves when they are alone. Loneliness is a psychological state in which your happiness depends on others. When they leave, emptiness appears. Solitude, in Buddhist understanding, is a state of awareness where you are alone but not abandoned. You do not run away from yourself. You do not need someone else to fill the inner space. The Buddha taught monks to practice solitude, not to escape life, but to understand themselves deeply. VII. Transforming loneliness into an opportunity for growth. When you are alone, you have the greatest opportunity to return inward. You can meditate, train your body, walk in nature, read books, learn a new skill, care for your mental well-being. If you use your time alone to grow, it ceases to be loneliness. It becomes nourishing stillness. IX. The Buddha's story and the power of being alone. Before enlightenment, the Buddha was once completely abandoned. 5 monks left him in the middle of the forest. He did not complain. He did not resent. He thought, now I have more time to practice. It was precisely in that solitude that he came closest to enlightenment. This teaches us that being alone does not destroy a person, only running away from oneself does. X speech, karma created every day. Buddhism teaches that speech creates karma just as powerfully as actions. The four unwholesome types of speech are lying, divisive speech, harsh speech, idle speech. Every word carries intention. That intention returns to the speaker in the form of karma. Words are like a knife. They can heal. They can also wound deeply. XI. Returning to loving oneself. Loving oneself is not a destination. It is a lifelong practice. When you stop hating yourself, you begin to live authentically. When you accept imperfection, you open the door to transformation. When you do not abandon yourself in your weakest moments, you step very close to inner freedom. And this is precisely what Buddhist wisdom offers humanity. A life made whole from within.
Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to watch more interesting videos.